Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 67 today and we are back for another massive European tie. This time it's the Europa League playoff round and we've got a tough draw in Copenhagen. If we don't beat them, we drop into the Europa Conference after 2 seasons in higher competitions. If we win it, it's the Europa League group stages for the second time in a row. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on and whether we can make the Europa League group stages, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. You can catch up with all the playlists in the eye above, including the FM Insight special, which features 2 episodes looking in depth at areas that we don't get to show in the regular episodes from this story. I've really enjoyed making them and there's something very different, so please do check it out and let me know what you think. And of course there's links up there to the podcast channel and all the other playlists too. But today we face Copenhagen in pretty good form. So if we go and have a quick look at our results, we obviously had the third qualifying round against Sarajevo, which we thought would be comfortable, and it proved to be the case. A 4-0 win at home, Duffy, Maguire and a Glatzel brace. Callum Maguire continuing his good start to the season there. We followed it up with a 3-0 win away to Carmarthen on the first day of the Welsh League season. Paul Glatzel, Ben Cottrell and young Tom Jones, his first goal for the club, and he's improving so quickly. He's going to be an absolute superstar for us. We've just got to hang on to him. We did lose 3-2 in a second leg of the Europa League qualifier, but we rested a few. It was basically job done. So Glatzel and Duffy got our goals and we got through comfortably in the end. But it was followed up by a 4-0 win in a League Cup second round. No more problems against lower league opposition. And another one of our youngsters, Sean Banks, he got the first goal on that occasion. A good player, not got quite the same potential, but a good personality and good key attributes. So we're looking forward to seeing how he does this year. And hopefully he can benefit another Welsh side in the future. Max Dean back from injury, he got a brace in that one too. And Luca Cannell with another thunderbolt. So we go into this one in pretty good form. We have got some slight issues. Archie Wood suspended, which isn't great for us. He's obviously our first choice holding midfielder. But with a ball winner, you've got to be used to that. We have started the season with a victory in the league, of course. It is looking good at the moment. And actually, we're probably going to have a less of a title race this year because where the Welsh League's improving, the likes of Cardiff, Met Uni, Bala, Barry, all going big on transfers, Carmarthen even, we're actually seeing a lot more draws early on or a lot more teams picking points off each other. So like Haverfordwest won at TNS, then Barry and Carmarthen drew. So there's a lot of sides improving, but it's actually leading to a lot more level playing field further down. So we might run away with it this year, but for the future, it's probably better for Welsh football. We'll wait and see how all that pans out. What I have got to reflect on is a very difficult draw in the SPFL Trust Trophy. We play Larne in the first round that we're participating in, and they're actually at the same stage of us. They've reached the Europa League playoff, and they've got a game they should be winning. So it could well be that we're playing against another Europa League side. They've got some good players. I mean, look at the wage bill. Chris Johns is a Northern Irish international. There's a lot of good footballers in that team. And I think we're going to start to see quality opposition there. And of course they've got Owen Toll, who left us to join them last year. So a very interesting opposition in that one. Might not be a third successive win in that trophy. And of course today we could drop out of the Europa League. And if we go into the Europa Conference group stages, albeit the coefficient's probably better for the nation because we'll get further along, we might not have quite the same prize money coming in. And that's something that will stop us expanding the club and the facilities moving forward. So let's go and get into the first leg and see how we get on. If we go and have a quick look at the transfer news on the way, a big offer from Dunfermline for Cian Gwenault, the third choice keeper. And Harry Clifton has left the club, Gregor Zabret too. He's gone back to Slovenia for £1,000 and Harry Clifton to Southend for £9,000. A backup player, a fourth choice, but he was one of the highest earners at the club. It made perfect sense to let him go. So what that means as we go into today's game is we are a little bit short due to suspension. We've still got a fairly strong squad out. So Max Dean building his way back up to fitness. Got those goals in the cup, but he's still on the bench today. And Daniel Williams back in midfield. Harvey Lloyd in a holding role due to the suspension to Woods. And the first choice right back is now Riley. He's got a bid. He might well be leaving the club soon on loan. But for now, he's starting right back and he's going to be crucial in this Europa League playoff. So it means we've got George Wickens in goal, Riley and Weaver the fullbacks with Badebo and Alzabad at centre-half, Lloyd, Williams, Brooks and Cottrell the midfield four in the diamond. Callum Maguire just dropped off now, so Cottrell's going to get a start. and Duffy and Glatzel combine up front. We're at home first leg, just like Sarajevo. We've got to take advantage of that. So let's go and see if we can. What do you think the score will be? Because if we lose this, we go out of the Europa League. If we go out the SPFL Trust Trophy too, it could be a little bit of a disappointing season for us. So let's see if we can go and avoid it. It's 11 changes to the side today, as we knew when we played Real what our 11 was going to be. So we factored that in. Archie Woods, for example, played the cup game. Max Dean back to fitness there. And then back to the 11 that's been going strong so far. So into it we go. It's pretty much the same side that played the first leg against Sarajevo. Just Cottrell in for Maguire in the number 10. Will we live to regret that decision? I'm not sure yet. But fingers crossed, we'll come out on top. Let's go and get into the first leg. As Congolo's got the ball at the back, we don't want to see Copenhagen on it early on, though Williams goes long forward to Duffy as it's intercepted. Gets into the box, right hand side, and he's dragged his shot wide. It's one of the things that we have suffered a little this season. Duffy's not scored as many so far, because he's not used to playing on that right side in the advanced forward role. We talked about the difference between the poacher and the advanced forward in our tactical episodes. And we've got to be honest, we're not seeing the best of Duffy in this role. So the sooner we can get Dean fully fit and alongside him, the better. But half an hour gone here, we've restricted Copenhagen brilliantly. But we've dominated the game and not seen a great highlight. We've not had many shots on target and we're yet to get the goal, though Williams wants to change that. Free kick into the back post. It was a teasing delivery. Alzabad chips it in and is headed away by Emiliano. Lloyd will chase it and probably recycle possession here. We've got to make sure he doesn't give it away. Back into Riley, the fullback, to Lloyd. Back to Alzabad. We're keeping it nicely, but not really going anywhere. Lloyd tries to change the tempo. Goes left to Esten Weaver. Takes on the fullback, but he's forced backwards again. And Lloyd in a holding role, keeping possession well. Weaver finds Brooks. Back into Lloyd again. We're just going backwards. It's pretty unpleasant to watch, really. We're not unlocking them. Though Cottrell changes it up here. Glatzel plays a 1-2 with Duffy. Through ball to Ben Cottrell. And he just dinks it gently over the keeper. It is 1-0 to Bangor City. And my word, we've made the right decision to start him. Ben Cottrell opens the scoring. Brilliant goal. Brilliant team move. Here we go then. At half-time, it's 1-0. Pretty accurately reflects the game. It's not been utter dominance, but we've restricted them to nothing and had a few chances. As Weaver gets the ball into Glatzel, can we double it early in the second? Brooks gets it inside to Cottrell, wide to Weaver, who's running onto it, just about keeps it in on the byline there. Gets towards the box and he's challenged brilliantly, but he still picks the ball up by the corner flag. Back into Ian Brooks, back to Weaver again. Chance to deliver, Williams is there. And Brumwin's in the air, brilliant defending. Moore brings it away, holds it up well for the visitors, but Alzabad intercepts the through ball. Lloyd plays a 1-2 with him to Williams. He's got Riley over on the right, instead plays in Duffy. Glatzel plays a 1-2 with him, through to Duffy again. I think he's off, is he? No, nothing given. Not even a VAR check. Joe Duffy slides it in. The keeper had stopped almost as if he was off. Glatzel with a great through ball. And it's 2-0. We double our lead. If we keep this clean sheet at home, just like Sarajevo, I'll fancy us to get through. A third would be lovely though, as Alzabad plays wide to Riley. Out from the back, we've played some lovely stuff in this one. The through ball to Duffy, he must be offside. He slid it in and nothing's given again. That is the complete contrast to the first two goals, which were really well worked with intricate football. Duffy picks it up at right back, diagonal through ball. There was no one within 20 yards of Duffy. No defenders whatsoever. And he makes it 3. Excellent from Duffy. And scrap everything I said about his role in the first half, because he's just bagged a quick fire brace. As Moore comes forward for the visitors. Cottrell harrying again. Hounds in midfield and wins it back. Through ball to Duffy into the box. And he's full of confidence now. But that one's viciously past the post. Just wide. And it remains 3-0. But at the hour mark, we're delighted with this performance. Look at some of the names in this team for Copenhagen. The likes of Tyrone Mings at right back, a quality player. It is something I've noticed a lot in this save actually. A lot of the players that go to the non-playable leagues, they're very good, but they're also over 30. So it sort of becomes a battle of physical versus mental and technical. And so far, physical's coming out on top. It's a very important part of the game. And now we've just got to keep it up. As Luca Cannell will replace Brooks on a yellow and not had the best game. Glatzel will be replaced by Max Dean, who will swap with Duffy. And the final change, I'm just going to leave 5 more minutes. Maybe we could bring on one of the youngsters, or I give Maguire a run out. Because despite his goal, Cottrell's not been the best. And he is getting tired now. So Maguire comes on for the final 8 minutes. But at 3-0, we would be delighted with this first leg. It's been a brilliant performance. You compare it to the stream series with Dundee United. And with a far smaller side and a less quality side as well, we're doing better because the tactic works and the boys are in tune. And the speaker of that as Maguire plays a lovely 1-2 with Duffy. Back in the poacher's role on the left with Dean coming on. And that one brilliantly saved by the keeper. Williams with the in-swinging corner though. Moore gets up and it's headed away. Larison chases and he brings it down well actually. And now they've got a chance to get the away goal, which would change this time massively. Larison's cross is blocked. Excellent defending from Lloyd. And Maguire nicks it off Thomas Asante. Williams over halfway. We've got a 4-on-4. The attacking midfielders are up. The two strikers are up. But Duffy can't quite get there. Not the best through ball. It's out to Riley on the right though. Lovely delivery, just overhit. Maguire was chasing, couldn't quite get there. But we've got a throw on the left with Weaver. Cannell loses out and it's a hoof clearance forward. But Dabo mops it up easily. Switches to Riley. Lovely pass actually. Through ball to Duffy. That's sublime. And it's a good save from Sorensen, the keeper. Keegan Riley with an unbelievable through ball there. That's his second one of the game. As Duffy gets on the end of the corner. Oh, he's beyond the penalty spot. And he still gets enough power on it. Brilliant drilled delivery from Williams. It was such a flat bullet corner. And Duffy, he's guided it perfectly to the corner. It's 4-0 Bangor City. And what we thought was going to be a very difficult tie in Europe has been just as easy as Sarajevo. So I don't think we're going to throw this one away. We've got the second leg to come in a week's time. We'll of course do the usual. We'll rest the players for the league game. And we'll be back in a moment to head to Denmark. But it should be almost job done now. Second leg time. I'm not worried at all about this one, but there is some bad news from the game we played at the weekend. We faced Cardiff Met Uni. It was a comfortable 2-0 win. A great strike from Archie Woods off the bench. Max Dean got another one as his comeback stepped up. Unfortunately, an injury to Banks up front. He'll be out a few weeks. But we talked and sort of revelled in the fact that Cardiff Met Uni had gone so big on MJ Williams, who was a real step up in terms of the quality of signings for them. And then we've managed to get him injured. So he played against us and now he's out for 2 months. And unfortunately, their best player is probably not going to recover from that because at 31, he will decline physically. So maybe not quite as exciting as we'd initially planned it to be for the Welsh League. However, as you can see here, there's still transfers galore, including another one leaving our club. But they're putting effort in to get players here. Ones that have played in England before and ones that have also played and got experience in this league. So Cian Gwenault leaves us. He goes to Dunfermline where he's now a backup keeper. It's a good deal and we've got a 50% sell on. So if he does get a run in the team, if he does improve, we'll probably make a bit more out of it. And that leads us on to something that I forgot to tell you from the summer. Dexter Harness, you may remember, left us in January for 40,000 to Barnsley. And we had our favourite sell-on clause there as well. Now we've managed to sell that this summer for 190,000. Because he's now worth 155 grand. He's wanted, he's loan listed, which actually might give us a fourth striker back, which we're still looking for. If we can't get McDonald, he'd probably be a good one to bring in. However, that's taken the total we've raised from that transfer up to 230,000. So now, excellent bit of business. But let's go and get into the second leg against Copenhagen. Let's go and see what our assistant has picked as the 11 for today and see what we can do about it. Well, they've left a full reserve side in. And we've not had a suggestion to change until now. So he's recommending 10 changes. He's left Lloyd in. Now Archie Woods is fit, so I'm not quite sure why that's the case. Williams has got a knock, so Luca Cannell will play. But I'd rather keep it full strength in the holding role. Just give us that little bit of bite. The back four and the keeper will be the same as the last game. And I think the front four probably will be as well. Max Dean's just about there, but we're going to give him one more game. So what that means for in the first leg is 2 changes, I think. Archie Woods back after suspension, Luca Cannell in for the injured Williams, and Harvey Lloyd drops to the bench. So Copenhagen v Bangor City, the second leg of the Europa League playoff. And unless we have a disastrous night at the office, it should be group stage football again. We are 90 minutes away from getting to finish this tie with a draw. Kiefer Moore and Thomas Asante up front together. Still some of the experienced boys from England in the squad. Although there's a fair few changes to the starting 11 for them. We don't often see that against these types of opponent. But Luca Cannell's in good form. He's back in today. What a shot that is. Right behind the floodlight. Absolutely no view of the pitch. But a 4-4-2 for Copenhagen. We should be able to cope with that. So let's see how we get on as Ben Cottrell picks it up early on to Brooks. Out to Weaver, the left back, marauding forward as we're so accustomed to seeing him do. He gets to the byline, cuts it back to Brooks again. There's 3 in the middle. Weaver's got it. They don't want to cross it. and eventually Glatzel gets on the end of it. At the front post, he tries to glance it in, but unfortunately it's cleared away. A good start for Bangor City though, and it looks like it's going to be a comfortable night. Don't want to speak too soon though. Oh, this is a problem we might have to contend with this year. Another injury in attacking midfield. Ben Cottrell out, albeit it's the position we've got the most depth, with Maguire the strong backup and Tom Jones the brilliant youngster. But we don't want to start picking up injuries like that. Let's hope it's not a big one. Well, quite a calm and even first half. Somehow our expected goals has crept up to 1.5, and we've not seen an attacking highlight, bar that Glatzel one early on, as Larison picks it up on the right Copenhagen. They've had a few chances themselves in fairness, as Congolo gets it at the back to Brun. We're pressing them high up the pitch, forcing them wide, but they've got over here. Thomas Asante in towards Emiliano, but Wickens comes and smothers. He's been excellent in the last few games. That slightly dodgy start hasn't lasted long, so we keep positive on that front as Duffy flicks on the goal kick to Glatzel. Back into Luca Cannell, a very left-sided midfield now as it goes into Duffy in the box and his shot's blocked away by Magellan. Brilliant defending, out to Thomas Asante. Was up front in the last game but drifting wide here, and he's won a free kick 25 yards out. Maguire's going to form the wall, but it's a good opportunity. Emiliano takes it, good angle for a right footer, but George Wickens gets behind it. Didn't get tempted to go towards the wall side, just stood his ground, and in the end it was fairly comfortable. Naya heads away the goal kick, but it's only as far as Weaver, down for Maguire, and now Ian Brooks. Long ball forward into Maguire, well disguised. Congolo wins the challenge, but only as far as Duffy. Back to Cannell, Brooks again, Glatzel's there, Maguire's running off him, but he goes back to Archie Woods. Safe play there. Through ball to Weaver on the left though. 4 in the box if he can find them. It's a poor delivery, but Brooks nicks it. Concedes it to Congolo straight after. Key for more chases, Badebo recycles. Weaver picks it up for Brooks. Into the centre circle, finds Glatzel. Through ball to Luca Cannell, he's got himself in, and he's dinked the keeper as well. Just like Cottrell did in the first leg, a lovely, glorious finish. It must be something these guys have spotted in the keeper, because it's happened 2 or 3 times in 5 goals. But we've got the away goal, that is absolutely crucial, because there's no way Copenhagen are scoring 6, and that means we're in the group stages. Let's get through the second half. Just over 25 minutes to go. We can start resting a few legs now. So Ian Brooks is complacent. He's going to be replaced by Josh Benson, because he didn't play at the weekend. He was still coming back from injury. And then we're also going to bring Hankin on for Riley at right back. He is still the original youth player, Jack Hankin, and I want him to get as much football as possible because he deserves it for what he's done for us. We have got better stars coming through now, but Jack Hankin will always be the first, and nobody can change that, as he picks the ball up at right back. A quarter of the game to go, and we still have only got to avoid conceding 6. Hankin hoofs the long ball forward. It's aimless, and it finds Naya. Out to Larison. Man over on the right, but instead they switch left to Emiliano. He's got a man running off him. Instead finds Larison. Blondal into the box, right-hand side. Back to Pedersen. Into the back post, and Alzabad heads clear. Only as far as Tyrone Mings, though. Chips it back in. Awful goalkeeping from Wickens. It was only the first half where I said he'd been brilliant recently. But hang on, we've got a VAR check. Is he offside? Looked a little bit of a weird one. I mean, it was just a bizarre highlight, a bizarre opportunity. But it is disallowed. The clean sheet is intact. And the 5-0 aggregate lead is 2. Excellent work with 20 to go. Wickens will play out from the back again here. You can see where we've got centre-halves and full-backs on there. Just how much we've spread them. We've given it away with an awful clearance. Thomas Asante splits the defenders. And you can ignore my tactical moment there because it's been proven wrong within an instant. Thomas Asante gets his goal. It's 1-1 on the night. But thankfully it's too little too late and we will get through comfortably. As they're playing out from the back again here, Copenhagen. Free kick just inside their own half. Who's going to take it here? It's Naya, the left centre-back. Out to Blondal on the left-hand side. Through ball to Thomas Asante. It's been a different game since he's gone up front. Into Tavares, who scores again. He's a centre-half. I'm not sure what he's doing up there. But we've got to shore things up a bit here because we're getting run ragged. So we're just going to put Weaver and Hankin to fullbacks on defend. This is exactly what happened against Sarajevo. We got really arrogant late on and let in a couple of goals. So we're going to have to be careful that this doesn't get closer than it should be on paper. It's still 5-2 on aggregate. We're comfortably through. But I don't want it to look close. As Benson plays to Cannell in the middle. Up to Callum Maguire. Benson again to Glatzel. The defender wins the challenge. It falls for Archie Woods in the centre circle. Picks up his customary yellow card. And it goes right to Jack Hankin. Woods is inside. Instead crosses early. Joe Duffy's up. Oh, lovely volley. The technique was beautiful. Hit it sweetly. but he got under it and it went flying over the bar. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go though. They're not going to get 4 more. We can celebrate our second successive appearance in the Europa League group stages. Last year we went out on goal difference. This year we try and get to the last 32. As Larison gets it on the right hand side. Back into Tavares, who scored that second goal. He finds Magellan, the centre half, and he switches it left to Mings. Good football again from the host. They're just poor defensively, as Thomas Asante's made it 3. If we play like this on the road in Europe, we are not going to win many matches, particularly in the group stages. But I've got to say, it was a brilliant performance for an hour. Perhaps the changes came too soon, and Jack Hankins been poor since he came on. But it's 3-1 to Copenhagen on the night, 5-3 to Bangor City on aggregate, and we get to finish with the Europa League group stage draw. Something to look forward to, and let's hope it's an easier draw than last year. Well, we're in the Europa League group stage draw, and because of our coefficient, for the first time, we're seeded second. A really big progress for us. But we've got a disaster as well. Ben Cottrell went off with that knock in the last game. He is out for 3 months with a torn hamstring. Given the fact that we've got Maguire playing well, and we've got young Tom Jones coming through as a superstar, depending on how he recovers from this, Cottrell could be the one that goes out of the club. And I didn't expect to say that at the start of the year. But it's a real difficult injury for him and at a tough time as well. So you've got to feel for him. He's offered so much to this club. But let's finish on the positive news, which is the Europa League group stage draw. So let's get through the first seeds and see who we're drawn up against. So second seeds, who are we going to be drawn up against? It's not Porto. It is Dinamo Kiev. They've got quality players. You can see the difference in wages even. And unfortunately, they're our first seeds. So let's go and see who get drawn in the third and fourth pots. And hopefully we'll get some pleasant surprises there. So third pot, it could be Newcastle. It could be the likes of Olympiacos, Torino. Who do we want? Probably Rapid Vienna, if we're being honest. So let's see who's drawn into Group B. It is Rapid Vienna. Oh, it might be our lucky day. So their star player is Michael Butner, who is bordering on world class at 18. That's a bit of a problem. I might have underestimated this side. And the greyed out players... Okay, Rapid Vienna wasn't as easy a draw as I thought it would be. That could be a difficult tie. And Group 4, we're not going to get Larn, who have gone into Pot A. But we could get the likes of Botasani, who we've beaten in qualifiers before. Christensen from Norway. And this is the one that's most important, because we have to finish third to stay in the Europa Conference after Christmas. So please, let it be one of the easy two. It's Botasani. So we beat them when we had a side nowhere near as good as this. They've got greyed out players who probably aren't quite as good as ours. I'd fancy us to beat them home and away. And if we can do that, third place in the Europa Conference after Christmas is a certainty. So certainly not the best group by any means, but better than last year. Last season we had Marseille and Villarreal. It's certainly not quite the same as that. So hopefully we'll be able to get points on the board. Fingers crossed there will be some good outcomes. Let's skip ahead very quickly and see what the schedule looks like and what game we're next going to be back for. Well, it's going to be a fun set of fixtures, isn't it? I think what we'll do then is probably just play Barry off camera. Come back for Larn and then Dinamo Kiev. We'll play the Colwyn Bay one off camera because they're two big games in two different competitions. And with the Larn game, it's not often one of the sort of smaller trophies gives us a big opportunity or a big game. But the way Larn have developed and the fact they're in the Europa League as well is going to make a big difference because they've got Porto and Valladolid coming up. But we'll show that one. We've got a bit of a problem in the sense that our first two games are both at home. So we might have to show you an away one this year. We'll show Botasani at home in the fourth game. And then we'll do the same with Rapid Vienna away, I think. But we'll work that out later on, depending on how the group's going. If you did enjoy this one, that big first leg against Copenhagen, please do put a thumbs up on it. An excellent result over the two legs, but worrying signs again on the road in Europe. If you want to stay up to date and see how we get on in our Europa League group, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories, as well as live streams and some special others like the FM Insight episode yesterday. But a massive thank you for watching as always, your continued support across the series and the channel. And I'll see you next time for 2 big games in 2 competitions. Larn at home, our fellow Europa League side in the SPFL Trust Trophy, and Dinamo Kiev in the Europa League. I'll see you there.